Welcome back everybody to another episode of Building in Minecraft. I am the Berserking Corgi. Today we are going to be building this cute, adorable little fishing cabin. Now this can just be a decorative piece to add to your world, or this can actually be a starter home because there's enough room for a bed and other stuff inside of it. Now it's built mostly with variations of stone bricks, but you can use obviously whatever type of block that you would like. Now let's go ahead and get started on this build today. Now first off, we're going to want to lay the front corner of the house. Now place the brick up to the surface, leave a one gap, and then make a column of bricks all the way up to the surface again, leaving a two gap going towards the back of the house. Once again, lay bricks all the way to the surface, and then for the final corner, go ahead and put another block there. Now on each of these corners, I'm going to add one extra block, and then I'm going to fill in the area in between with slabs on the top here, as well as in the middle. But in the back here, right at the surface of the water, I'm going to place one right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and build up 3 blocks in each of the corners. And then I'm going to go ahead and add an extra block in between at the front, because this is where the door is going to be. But I'm not going to do it in the back. To fill in the walls, I'm just going to go ahead and use the stone brick walls. Really cute and simple like that. Next, on the sides of each of these pillars, go ahead and add an upside down stair, just on the side, not on the front. And then I'm going to fill in between with solid blocks on both sides. Now this is going to be the foundation for the second floor. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Let's stack up our blocks 2 high in each of the corners. And like I said before, I'm just varying the different types of stone. Now, just like at the bottom there, I'm going to go ahead and place in stone brick walls on either side. Then in the front middle of the house, just above the door, I'm going to add a single brick wall, then add stone brick blocks to either side of it, leaving the top above it empty. And now we're just going to go ahead and finish off this row, and then an upside down stair over the space where the window is going to be. Then 2 more solid blocks, another upside down stair. This one's just for pretty details, and then cap it off with a single block. And now we finish the peak of the roof. I'm just going to go ahead and break out some of these solid blocks and trade them out for some stairs just to give an extra amount of texture, but this isn't necessary. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the back side of the build. This is where the chimney is going to be. So starting off where the slab was, let's go ahead and add an additional slab to it, a stair on top of it, and then 2 stairs angled in towards the original stair. Now go ahead and just add a spacer block right here, add an upside down stair, and then just break it. On top of that stair, let's add 2 blocks, an upside down stair on the front of it, and then we're going to add a full block here and then 2 place saver blocks like this. Then let's go ahead and throw in another upside down stair and then just break out those two holding blocks. And that's the majority of the chimney done. Let's add 2 solid blocks on either side of that top stair. Since we're here, let's go ahead and just finish off the peak of the roof. In the center, go ahead and stack 2 stone brick walls. Then on the back of the first one, add a solid block and then an additional one on top of it. Now we're going to leave that area right behind it empty. Now we're going to put in 2 space saver blocks on either side of the wall. And go ahead and add upside down stairs towards the inside of the house, and then just break those blocks out. Now to add just a touch more detail, let's go ahead and just add 2 upside down stairs to either side of this original one. Now we're just going to go ahead and start lining up the front wall and the back wall together. So add a solid block here on either side. And then we're going to take upside down stairs and connect the front wall and the back wall together, just as so. We'll do this on either side. Let's go ahead and start throwing in a little bit of glass. I'm using glass panes here, just clear ones. You can use any glass panes that you like. I wouldn't recommend blocks just because they make it look a little bit too bulky. And there we go, we filled in all of the windows. Finally, let's add the last bit, final amounts of detail to this chimney. On this upside down stair, let's add an andesite wall, 2 high. And then I'm just going to add a little variety to it with a stone brick wall out, and then add 1 more andesite up, and then a slab. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a few cobwebs just to make it look like smoke, but you don't have to do this. You can even add one of those nifty little fireplaces instead of the slab and just cover it in some trapdoors. I kind of arch it so it looks a little bit like it was blowing in the wind though, if you're interested in how I did it. Now finally, let's go ahead and move on to the roof section. As you can see on the roof, I'm alternating between spruce and oak. I just like the way that it gives kind of a weathered appearance with some of the roof looking like it's newer and some of it looking like it's older. And I'm just going to lay it traditionally stair step all the way up, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the top of the build on the roof blank for now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spruce stairs and I'm going to point them in towards the middle of the roof, kind of giving this scalloped look. And I am going to use spruce for this all the way around because I'm going to use oak as a contrast from underneath. Now I'm going to continue this all the way around except for these top 2. The top 2, I'm just going to put the stairs in like the rest of the roof traditionally, just as so. Now on the front, I'm going to take the oak stairs and I'm going to lay them underneath just as so. And a little bit of the oak is going to be peeking out from the sides because we scalloped it, so it looks pretty cool. On the back though, we're going to take slabs and place them just underneath these 2 stairs on either side as well as the peak of the roof. And now you can see how the oak kind of just pokes out just a tiny bit. I thought it looked really, really neat. Now for the peak of the roof, on top of these 2 stones, let's go ahead and place lower slabs. And then 1 full block out from that on the front, and then 1 full block out from that on the back. Placing an upside down stair on either one. Now I'm going to take spruce trapdoors just to add a little bit more depth to it on the top of each of these upside down stairs, as well as in the blank spot in between these 2 slabs to finish off the roof. I just love this roof style. I think it looks great and it's so versatile. You can use it on fantasy or medieval style builds. To finish off the front, throw on a spruce door. Now we're going to add some trapdoors. These are dark oak trapdoors. Kind of do these 4 in a checker pattern as so. And then 1 right above the door is going to be spruce. To continue on the side where we place these full blocks in between the stairs, on the bottom, let's add spruce trapdoors. And on the front, dark oak trapdoors. Going to do the identical thing on the other side on these 2 full blocks. On the bottom, spruce trapdoors, and on the side, dark oak trapdoors. Now where these 2 gaps are in the back next to the chimney, I'm going to go ahead and throw in some dark oak trapdoors as well. Then right here, I'm also just going to throw in a couple of spruce trapdoors to break up all the gray. Now for fences. I love using fences to add a little bit of structure to the roof on all of the corners, just like this. And then I'm also going to do it underneath where I laid these upside down stairs to also make them look a little bit more supported too. Finally, I'm going to add some fences here for what will eventually be the sign for the fishing shack. And this is pretty much the bulk of the build done. All we need to do is go inside where these two gaps are, add in 2 spruce trapdoors. Then additionally, where the stone brick wall is, I'm going to add in a spruce trapdoor as well. Now let's go ahead and move to the dock that's going to be out front of the house. It's going to be bulk spruce trapdoors, and I'm just going to start laying a couple here for you. But it's really easier if you lay down an outline in half slabs for it first. It just becomes so much easier to lay them down than trying to sit and shift click in water. But as a piece of advice on the corners, lay them on top of the slabs, whatever size and dimensions that you do decide for the build. Now I'm just going to go and randomly start filling in the rest of the dock with the trapdoors facing in various angles, some on top, some on bottom. Really, it's up to your personal preference on how you would like it to look. I just find that alternating them adds a little bit more texture and a little bit more depth to it. And also another hint is to make the dock look like it's a little bit thicker, place a couple of trapdoors on the bottom of the other ones too. And now I'll just continue this and finish all of this off really quickly. Now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and start adding some pillars to the corners. Once again, I'm just going to be alternating on several different styles of stone brick blocks and just bringing them up to the spruce trapdoors that I had laid. And this is why I said for you to lay them on top of the half slabs so it would make this process easier. And ta-da! I just like how it gives it a weathered look when you use different styles of stairs and walls. Now we're going to go ahead and extend the front of the pier out just a touch. So I'm going to add the half slabs just to make it, like I said before, easier to lay down the spruce trapdoors. And then just like before, I'm gonna double up one just to make it look a little bit thicker. Now I think I'm going to break this one out and go ahead and add a lamp post right here just so that there's a little bit of light on the dock. Just a simple one with some stone brick walls and a lantern. Next, we need a way for getting up onto the pier, but we also need a way of keeping drowned from also getting up on the pier. So let's go ahead and add a spruce stair down. And then either side, lay a spruce trapdoor down with a oak trapdoor on top of it. We're going to do this on either side. It gives the illusion of a railing on the stairs. And then let's go ahead and throw a spruce gate, like I said, to keep those drowned out. Now I want to keep this kind of railing look with the oak trapdoors going on the pier. Now on these areas that are lower, just throw down your oak trapdoors, done and done. But on the areas that are a little bit higher, we're going to have to be a little bit more creative. So I'm going to take these half slabs and kind of just outline the edge of the pier. I'm only going to go back part ways. You can go all the way if you'd like. It's up to you. But there you go. See, it's easy enough now just to lay them down than it is to shift click it in the water. Believe me, so much easier. But as you can see, just jump down, go through your little gate, close it, and bam, Drowned can't get up here anymore. And it gives this cute little railing appearance that I just love. I'm gonna add just a couple more details to it. So maybe right here, throw in a barrel. I mean, it is a fishing shack, so it needs some barrels. Throw a couple of lanterns up to light up the pier. Whoops, I fell in the water. Well, that's it for the house itself. Everything beyond this is purely decoration. I like to add some oak leaf blocks around, even some in the water, kind of make it look like plants are growing really densely around it because it's been here for so long. Just going to add them here and there. And this is kind of like the fun part of building, where you get to add your own little bit of creativity to the decor. I also like to add them all around the build because it almost makes it look like a really dense vine is growing up. But really, in pure honesty, guys, just play around with the design until you like it. Now that I'm happy with the leaf blocks, I'm going to start throwing in a few vines. Now, the best advice I can give you for vines is if you don't want it to grow, throw down some string anywhere you don't want it to grow because it will take over quick, fast, and in a hurry if you don't. You can also use stone buttons in this case to add a little bit of a barrier as well. And on this one, I just want to make it grow a little bit longer. On the island, I'm just going to throw down some random barrels, just kind of pointing in various ways. And then let's go ahead and add some leaf blocks to the island as well, because it's a little barren. It needs some vegetation, I think. Now, obviously, it's going to need a little bit of path. This has been here for a while, so everything's going to be well beaten down. So throw in some gravel, put in some path blocks. Just be creative. Might even add just a touch more gravel in. Now, it's fun to add in some leaf blocks into the texture, but did you know you can waterlog them? I just love the way that they look when they're waterlogged. So, fun little tip for you guys. Finally, let's go ahead and throw up some frames to finish off that sign that I promised you guys. And let's go ahead and put some fishing rods in there. What is this thing missing right here? Well, you see where I have these two trapdoors on top of each other? Well, I'm going to show you guys a quick little slick trick. Open up the top trapdoor, add a solid block on top of it. Now we can go ahead and place an armor stand on it, just like so. And you can kind of like position it whatever way you want. I'm going to have him holding a fishing rod, and I'm going to put on his rain slicks. Give him a carrot on a stick. There we go. Now break this block out and you can see the bottom of the stand. But if you close the trap door, you can't see it anymore. Slick trick for you guys if you don't like the way that the bottom of the armor stands look. Next, let's go ahead and throw in a boat. I like to set it on top of glass panes. That way it sits out of the water a little bit. But that's just a personal preference of mine. You don't have to do this. I also like to tie it up to the pier with a lead. Also unnecessary, just a personal preference. Well, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode of building this cute, adorable little starter home / fishing shack. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, do consider subscribing. If you don't follow me over on Twitter, go ahead and head on over there. I release sneak peeks, teasers, and occasionally pictures of my puppy dog, BC. I'm the Berserking Corgi. Have a fantastic day.